The first thing to note regarding Salah is what? Al-Qiyam. Qanitan lillah. Standing out of reverence for Allah. Not clasping the feet, not standing akimbo, not standing in any other way. Standing firm and then being focused. Then thereafter we make takbiratul ihram. Allahu Akbar. We raise the hands to the level of the shoulder as we described, or to the level of the earlobes. There is something around that too. Let us quickly mention it. We could say Allahu Akbar and then raise the hands. Or raise the hand as we mention the takbir. Allahu Akbar. Or we can raise the hands and then we say what? Allahu Akbar. They are all allowed. All the reports regarding these three issues are authentic. We can say Allahu Akbar and then raise the hands. The takbir before Raf'ul Yadayn. We can make them together. Allahu Akbar. We can raise the hand. Allah. We can raise the hand and then say what? Allahu Akbar. After this stage, there's a common thing people make, and it's a mistake. You see many of the people after Takbiratul Ihram, Allahu Akbar, they drop the hand. This dropping of the hand lacks any proof. And dropping the hand is an action. Don't perform an action in Salah without a proof. People make Allahu Akbar, they drop the hand and then fold it. It's wrong. What is described of his Salah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is after the Takbiratul Ihram, yaqbidul yadayn. He makes qabd. He follows, he closes the hands. He folds the hands. He folds the hands. Sahal ibn Sa'd as-Sa'idi radiyallahu anhuma. Sahal ibn Sa'd, one of the companions who lived longest amongst the companions who died in Medina. Sahal ibn Sa'd. He says, Kana nas yu'marun. The people used to be commanded an yada'a ar-rajulu kaffahu al-yumna ala zira'ihi al-yusra. We used to be commanded. Some of the ulama say it means this is obligatory. That the individual folds the hands. Because they used to be commanded. Who was commanding them? The Messenger alayhi salatu. A lot of issues here amongst the ulama. But the least thing is that it is from the mustahabbat of Salah, from the mandubat, from the things that we are encouraged to make in Salah is what? Al-qabd. Al-Imam al-Tirmidhi in his Sunan, when he reported this hadith, he said this is the position of the Sahaba, the scholars amongst the Sahabas, the Tabi'un, wa man ba'dahum, and those who come after them amongst the ulama. The sunnah is that after Takbiratul Ihram, Allahu Akbar, the individual does what? He folds the hands. Because of time, we could go on investigating the how of folding the arms, one after the other. But it will take a lot of our time. So let us quickly cut it short and move ahead. There is the uslub, there is the methodology of al-wad. There is also the methodology of al-qabd. Al-wad'u, placing the palm on the palm, can occur in two ways. Al-wad'u and al-qabd. Al-wad'u branches in two ways, and al-qabdu branches in two ways. So in it all, how many ways can we place our hands on our chests? 4 ways. The first 2 ways, al-wad, placing. The last 2 ways, al-qabd, holding. So al-wad'u is wad'ul kaf al-kaf. The kaf is the palm upon another palm. So we place the right palm on the left palm. This one way of making what? Al-wad. Wad. Or the second way of making al-wad. Wad'ul kaf al-yumna ala dhira. So how do we do that? Some of our brothers hold hair. It's wrong. It's wrong. This is part of the zirah, the arm, lower arm, but this is not the place to grab. It says, وَضْعُ الْكَفْ عَلَى الذِّرَاعِ. In some reports, وَضْعُ الْكَفْ عَلَى الْكَفْ وَالرُّزْقِ وَالسَّاعِدِ. That report will clarify where we place our hands. وَضْعُ الْكَفْ, placing the palm, عَلَى الْكَفْ, on the palm, وَالرُّزْقِ, on the wrist, وَالسَّاعِدِ, and then on the other lower part of the arm. This is the correct way to make it, not like this. Al-Imam Ibn Khuzaymah mentioned it in his Sahih. For now, he is the earliest person that I have seen describe it clearer. Al-Imam Badruddin Al-Aini also did in his Umdatul Qari, Sharh Sahih al-Bukhari, and others, like Al-Imam Al-Shawkani and others. The way to make this second wad'u is wad'u al-kaf ala al-kaf wal-ruzq wal-sa'id. Wad'u. Place the roots of the right palm on the knuckle area of the left palm. Place the inner part of the right palm on the wrist, and then the other aspects of the lower arm. This is the second way of making what? Al-wad. The first way to make al-wad is what? Wad'ul kaf al-kaf. One. The second way to make al-wad is what? Wad'ul kaf al-kaf wal-ruzq was-sa'id. So it's not, we will not be standing qanitin. By the time we begin to try to grab, some of our brothers even hold on to the left elbow. They say this is sa'id. The sa'id is everything that comes between the wrist and the elbow. So once the arm is placed on whatever comes after the wrist, that is fulfilled. So these are the ways to make al-wad'u, placing one hand over the other, and it is the right that should be placed on the left. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu, he said one day the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saw me placing my left hand over my right hand in salah. Ibn Mas'ud says, فَأَخَذَ بِيَدِي. He grabbed my hand and placed the left on the ground, on the chest, and then placed the right one on it. So it means the right must be on the left. But from the sunan, from the fiqh of this hadith of Ibn Mas'ud, is that we could find our sisters. We could find brothers, fellow sisters, women. A man can find his wife praying, having her left on the right also. Go grab it and change it. Or we find the children praying like that. Grab it and change it. Or someone who just accepts Islam prays like that. Go grab it, change it. Like the Prophet did. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So that is al-wad'u. The second one is al-qabd, grabbing. So qabdul kaf bil kaf. Grabbing one palm with another palm. So we grab the palm of the left. With which palm? With that of the right. Qabd. No. Alhamdulillah, somebody can pray like this. The knuckle part of the left, the wrist, and the elbow, like this. The three of them are handled. There's an author in Musannaf Abdul Razak that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq will do like this. And the isnad is sahih. It is a sayf al-qati in this matter. The author of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. radiallahu, he will pray, handle his cup like this. So you see, here is handled. The knuckle area of the left palm is handled. The wrist of the left palm is handled. And parts of the as-sa'id is also handled. So the other one, we placed it on it. But in this case, what do? We handle it. So how many ways do we place our palms in salah on our shoulders, on our chests? 4 ways. Either by placing or by grabbing. 4 ways. 4 ways. My dear brothers and sisters, this was how the companions used to learn the salah. If we were hearing this, it's a different thing. We will just try to do it as we have heard it. It will not be like you do it, somebody puts your hands, no, do it like this. Like Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu mentioned regarding the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Or like the Prophet described to Musi' as-salah, the one who erred in his salah. Or like Malik ibn al-Huwairis radiallahu anhu described to his people. Radiallahu anhu. The salah is learned. May Allah make it easy for us. So we place our palms. After takbiratul ihram, our palms are on our chests. Let me quickly say it here too. The large majority of the muhakkikun amongst the ulama, they say our hands should be on our chests. Because the madhab of some amongst the ulama, like the Hanafiya, is that it should be below the navel. Some amongst the ulama say no, on top of the navel. Some, like Imam Ahmad, say below the chest. This is what they have said. But people like Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar, Al-Imam al-Shawkani, rahimahullah, Sheikh Muhammad ibn Adam al-Ethiopi, and others, Sheikh Ahmad Shakir, and many others, Abdul Rahman Mubarak Khuri, the author of Tuhfatul Ahwadi. These are scholars of hadith who were also great scholars of fiqh. They go around and say, okay, in all of the texts, the best place to put it is on the chest. Because there is no authentic text around it. Even the hadith on placing it on the chest, ulama say the correct thing is that that hadith is weak. But they say it is the least weak of all those reports. Yes. Al-Imam al-Albani mentions it Hasan in Sifatu Salatin Nabi. But others have spoken about that hadith. Allahu Alam. So that hadith, they go around it and it is still the best thing to do. Yes, there are clear-cut reports in Bukhari, Muslim, and other books of hadith that he folded his hands. They didn't just find a clear-cut authentic to say it is on the chest. But it is the best of what has been found so far. And Sheikh al-Albani gave a fiqh, rahimahullah. And that was one of the reasons he made the tahseen of that hadith. He said, if we fold the arms in all of the ways that are clearly mentioned in the books of Sihah and Sunan, to fold our arms, we will find out that the easiest and the calm place to place it is on the shoulders. Rahimahullah, Fahassan al-Hadith. On the chest. Don't forget, Innama nisa shaqa'ikur rijal. The women are the equal equivalents of men in all of these that we have described. People like Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar, when they describe Salah, they will say regarding men and women, Lam yarid ma yadullu ala tafriqatin. There is nothing that has been reported authentically that proves that there should be a difference between men and women. So we continue all upon the same approach in our salawat. So the person comes up, he stands, qanitin, and then he makes takbiratul ihram, whether to his shoulder level or to his ear level, and then returns the hands to the shoulders, either making al-qabd or making al-waqf. The next issue is, what is the first thing to say? Many of the times we hear our brothers say, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Starting with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is wrong. There is the hadith of Anas ibn Malik radiyallahu anhu. And that hadith occurs in Bukhari and Muslim. It says that Anas radiyallahu anhu said he observed the salah behind Prophet Muhammad. Of course, he was in the companionship of the Messenger for 10 years. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa radiyallahu anhu. 10 years. And then that he observed the salah behind Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu. He observed salah behind Umar radiyallahu anhu, Abu Hafs. He observed salah behind Uthman bin Affan radiyallahu anhu. He said the entirety of all of these people, when they commence their salah, what we hear is Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. So does that mean between Takbiratul Ihram and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin nothing should be read? Say no. What it means is that the first thing that they hear is Alhamdulillah. So you now ask, are there proofs that we can say some other things while commencing Salah after Takbiratul Ihram? Between Takbiratul Ihram and Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin, are there things to say? Say yes, there are things to say. And the first thing to say is Dhikrul Istiftah or Du'a'ul Istiftah. Du'a'ul Istiftah, the supplication to open the salah, to commence the salah, or Dhikrul Istiftah, the words of remembrance with which we commence. So how do we know that the Messenger is to say that? Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he went to the Prophet Muhammad. Says, Ya Rasulullah, bi abi anta wa ummi, be my mother and father, he sacrificed for you. As valuable as our parents are, I wish that I have you if I don't have you. Radiyallahu anhu. سكوتك بين التكبير والحمد لله ماذا تقول؟ Your being silent, this hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. Your being silent after takbir, before you start Alhamdulillah, what do you say? This means that Abu Hurairah was also observing what Anas was observing. That between Allahu Akbar and Alhamdulillah, they were not hearing anything, but he used to be silent. Then Abu Hurairah went forward to say, he must be saying something. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, what do you say? And the Prophet said, Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I would say, Allahumma ba'id bayni wa bayna khatayaya kama ba'adta bayna al-mashriq wal-maghrib. Allahumma naqqini min khatayaya kama yunaqqa ath-thawb al-abyad min ad-danas. Allahumma ighsilni min khatayaya bil-ma'i wal-thalji wal-barad. Abu Hurairah got it. Radiyallahu anhu. The rest of the companions too knew it, including Anas. Because he has reports regarding that his hadith that I mentioned, in which we say, La yusmi'una, they will not make us hear other things they say, except what? Alhamdulillah. Meaning that they were saying something too. So after Takbiratul Ihram, brothers, what do we say? Du'a al-Istiftah. And the fact that Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu asked about it is evidence that it is mustahab. Although others amongst the ulama say it is from the wajibat of salah. If we look at the juz فيه حديث مسيء الصلاة by Sheikh Muhammad ibn Salim ibn Umar Mazmoon. He mentioned to be obligated. Why? Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commanded al-Musi'at is-Salah, the one who heard in his Salah, to make these dua istiftah. And the fact that it is mustahab does not contradict the fact that it will be wajib. Something is wajib means that it is mustahab and then wajib. If something is wajib, it is mustahab and wajib. It's like asking if salah mustahab. You say no, it's not just mustahab, it is wajib. Because it cannot be wajib except it is what? Mustahab. So the fact that Abu Hurairah's hadith points to istiqbal, it does not prohibit the hadith of al-Masih Salam from becoming, having the ruling of the obligation, but have it as mandub, because that is the position of the jumhur. Let's just leave it at that. That dua istiftah is what? Mustahab. And it's the first thing to say after what? Takbir al-Ihram. So after we say Allahu Akbar, we make al-Wad or al-Qawt. What do we say? Look at how we start this communication with Allah. Oh Allah, separate, take away, give a separation between myself and my sins. As we have put away the east from the west. Allahumma nakfini min khataaya. Oh Allah, purify me from my sins. As the pure white cloth is put away from, or is cleansed of what? That filth. Allahumma salli min khataaya. Oh Allah, cleanse me, wash me off my sins. Bilma, with water, with valid cold, ice, wal and deep. Purify me from this. We are standing before God. We will beg Him, forgive me, remove my sins. May Allah forgive all of us. One of the ulama was asked about khushu' in salah. What is the meaning of khushu'? See, when you perform the salah according to the sunnah, you have khushu'. If the person follows all of these with his mind in salah, the mind will be in that salah. If he makes a prayer to the cross, Allahu Akbar, if his mind gets in and done. When he has it in mind and then he can't stand like that, the hand must be like this. The mind and the attention will be following the salah. Now, dua istiftah, aside that of Abu Hurairah, that is that of Aisha, Umar radiallahu anhu, that of Aisha of Sunan Abi Dawud, that of Umar of Sahih Muslim radiallahu anhu. And that's the most common among us. When Umar radiallahu anhu was explaining this dua istiftah to people, he said, while on the minute, everybody was listening to me. What is that? Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, wa tabaraka ismuka, wa ta'ala jadduka, wa la ilaha illa anta. It is from the hadith of Umar and Aisha radiallahu anha. Dua istiftah. So you either say that of Abu Hurairah, or you say that of who? Or there are others. We can go back to the book Hisnul Muslim. Hisnul Muslim, we learn what is. But these two are easy. So we mention what is in this kind of a circumstance. So that we can proceed. So after dua istiftah, we say Allahu Akbar at the beginning of salah. We place the right palm on the left palm on our chest. We make dua istiftah. What will follow? Al-isti'adha. You know why? We want to read Quran. And Allah has commanded us in An-Nabi, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Whenever you recite the Quran, ask refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Against who? Ash-Shaytan. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, Jubair ibn Mut'im, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, all report the hadith. The Prophet taught us how to do that. What do you say? أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفخه. Don't say stop. This one is long. If it is said that anybody who says it in Salat al-Maghrib has $5,000 for it. Between now and Salat al-Maghrib, I'm sure everybody here will come out. Just say this decade to have $5,000. Imam. Every one of us. Even the children who teach them before we leave here. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفسه. This is the correct way to make isti'adha. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم. If you ask, what about the regular أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم in Salah? One of the scholars say it is not reported that the Prophet used to say that in Salah. Who said that? Imam Ali. He mentioned that in the Asr of Salah. I have tried to search whether he said that, whether the Prophet has said, but you will not find any authentic report regarding that. So we stand by that. Salah is something in which every statement and action in it is as we are taught. So as you make your isti'adha in Salah, make an isti'adha that the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has taught us. If you wish. Because sometimes it is allowed to say these things aloud. Especially when you are with people who don't either know them or who don't care about them. It is from the Sunnah to say them aloud. The companions used to do that. Ordinarily they should be said silently. But when you are in situations where people will ask you, what have you done? It will give you an opportunity to explain. Or those who knew it but forgot. People know so it become oblivious regarding may Allah protect us. And they carry this kind of mindset to Salah. It is wrong. So we should say, أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم من همزه ونفخه ونفسه. Why we come to Salah? Why? Because Allah says to us, فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. And the way to do that in Salah, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam exemplified it and taught us to do so. I hope that this point is clear. So after Takbir al-Ihram, Allahu Akbar, what next do we do? We go on our chest, on our chest. What next do we do? Dua al-Istiftah. What next do we do? أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. What is the next thing? Don't say Alhamdulillah. Don't say Alhamdulillah. Until you have read Bismillah. Don't say Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Start with Bismillah. Also silent. Because Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is the first verse of Al-Fatiha. The first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha, Al-Sahih min Aqwal Ahli, is what? Bismillah ar-Rahman. Al-Imam al-Bayhaqi quotes a hadith from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِذَا قَرَأْتُمْ Alhamdulillah. When you recite Alhamdulillah, it's one of the names we can call that song. We call it like that when we were younger than this. Alhamdulillah. When you recite Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Faqra'u Bismillah. Recite Bismillah. It says in that hadith, it says because Surah Al-Fatiha is Kitab, is As-Sabr al-Mathani, It is Ummul Quran and other things. He says, Rabbi alayhi salatu wassalam, فَإِنَّ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ إِحْدَاهَا فَإِنَّ بِسْمِ اللَّهِ الرَّحْمَنِ الرَّحِيمِ إِحْدَاهَا Because Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is one of these. One of what? Al-Fatiha. So the first verse of Surah Al-Fatiha is what? Bismillah ar-Rahman. Who said that? The Prophet Muhammad. Those amongst the ulama who say, no, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is not the first verse. They say this statement is a statement of Abu Hurairah. Al-Imam Abu Shama, he has an entire book on this issue. Abu Shama is the 5th century scholar of Islam. He has a book, Al-Basmala. And then he had on this issue. What did he call it? Al-Basmala. After declaring this hadith authentic, he said, even if you say that this is the statement of Abu Hurairah, would Abu Hurairah be saying, Radiyallahu anhu, that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is from Surah Al-Fatiha? It means that he is saying that it is from a verse of the Quran without having heard that from the Prophet Muhammad. He said, لَيْسَ مِمَّا يُقَالُ بِالرَّأِيِّ أَوْ بِالرَّأِيِّ It is not from amongst those things that somebody can say, my opinion is that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is from Surah Al-Fatiha, except that he had heard that statement from who? From the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. More so that we have the reports that directly ascribe that statement from Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu to who? To the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's a second hadith. And Imam Darqutni reports from Salama radiallahu anhu that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam he used to cut his qira'ah ayatan. He used to cut sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He will cut his recitals verse by verse. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He then said, he would say, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ayatan. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, ayatan. She gave the clear statements. And Imam Ibn Khuzaymah also reported this hadith. That Salama radiallahu anha said, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam cuts his recitals verse by verse. And then she said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, ayatan. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, ayatan. What does that mean? It means that Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is the first ayah of Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Surah Al-Fatiha. So three things we say silently. The first one is what after the prayer to Ikram to have a istighfar. The second one is what? Al-Isti'an. The third one is what? Al-Basmala. So don't ask, what is the ruling of Al-Basmala? The ruling of Al-Basmala is the ruling of Fatiha. Because فَإِنَّهُ إِحْدَاهَا Because Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is one of Surah. So say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim before you recite Al-Fatiha. It does not contradict that hadith of Anas in which it started. I hope you remember this discourse after. Allahu Akbar. Dua al-Sittah al-Isti'adah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then we start by saying Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Verse 2. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. That is as-sabr al-madad, the 7 most repeated verses. Allah refers to the Quran, calling Surah Al-Fatiha as-sabr. So we recite Surah Al-Fatiha. And the one who does not recite Surah Al-Fatiha has no salat. Surah Al-Fatiha is from the arkan of Rukn al-Arkan. Ubadah ibn Samit, he said, radiyallahu anhu, that the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadith Bukhari and Muslim,